Good morning, friends. Welcome to Take Two for this Tuesday, the 7th of May, 2019. I'm Jeannie. I'm so glad that you've decided to join me today. Well, today I'd like to talk to you very briefly. I promise. Sometimes I get a little long-winded, but I'd like to talk to you briefly about my favorite subject once again, and that is my beautiful nephews, Thomas and Jimmy. Today I'm going to focus a little bit on Thomas. Now, it's so exciting because, you know, when you're only 11 months old, every day something new occurs in your life. And this past weekend, I got a video, a little short video text from my sister friend, their grandmother, Graham, and it was Thomas eating his first French fry. And you say, well, so what's so exciting about that? Well, you know, the exciting part about it is this. It was his very first French fry, and he seemed to be enjoying it quite a bit. Now, just to say, Jackie is not a junk food person. She does not feed her children junky foods, but every so often, you know, even though as healthy as they are and they eat balanced meals and all that, every so often, like when obviously they were out somewhere in a restaurant and Thomas was sitting in a high chair and he's holding one French fry in his chubby little hand and eating it, and then she says, Thomas, and he turns his head and he's got a smile from ear to ear and he's just enjoying that French fry. And I started thinking about life in general, how much complacency we allow to just come into our lives, where we just do the same mundane things over and over and over again, and even just constantly going through drive-thrus at McDonald's or wherever. And I don't, but I know a lot of people who do, and they just shovel French fries in their mouth without thinking back to that time when they may have eaten their very first French fry. Now, I know eating your first French fry shouldn't be the biggest highlight and memory of your life. Personally, I don't remember the first French fry I ever ate. I do remember fond times where we used to go down to Wetson's Drive-In in Staten Island, and my grandmother would sit in the back of the car, and it would be a big treat to go to Wetson's and get a hamburger and to get a, you know, some French fries and a root beer or a Coke or anything like that. That was always such a big, exciting thing. But I do remember those times fondly, including one time my grandmother had this little cup of ketchup in her hand, and we were driving home, and my father had to stop short, and she went, Mama, and squished it, and ketchup went all over the car. That's a fond memory. We did laugh about that. So you can go back and remember things like that, the first time you ever did this, or the of memories of when you used to go certain places to eat or play or vacation, and not let the day-to-day stuff become complacent and mundane. You know, I doubt very much that unless we save that video and show it to Thomas when he's a little bit older, I doubt very much he's going to remember the first French fry. But I really was hit between the eyes of how important it is to embrace everything like that exciting first time. The first time maybe that you saw, went to a special place, a special vacation spot, or the first time you were in your backyard and you saw a wild rabbit in your backyard, or the first time you maybe saw a rainbow, like when we were living in Ireland, and every day there were beautiful rainbows. Those are the kinds of things that we want to retain in our memory. And then, here's the thing, boys and girls, when you get into a place of daily mundane living, okay, when your life becomes a series of hump days like they are, this is probably a much better message for a Wednesday than it is for a Tuesday, but it was so heavy on my heart, I just really felt like I needed to share it with you guys today. When you get to that place of that daily grind, stop for just a moment and think about that first French fry. Stop, and I have a little on my home screen of my computer, I have a little file that I call, what do I call it? I call it Jimmy stuff. And now that Jimmy stuff little file is also Thomas stuff. And what happens is when my sister sends me things, pictures and videos and things, I save them. And then when I'm in a rut or in a drudgery, I'll stop for just a moment and I'll digress and I'll just go into that file and open it and I'll watch videos of when Jimmy was small, when he was Thomas's age, or things of Thomas, photos, things like that, because they just lift me up, because it is good to reminisce sometimes, and it is good to remember those things. But here's what I'm going to encourage you to do. Embrace those memories, but also sometimes you just have to live life as if you were eating that French fry for the first time, and have that joy and that excitement and that newness, and don't let life become mundane, routine, and a drudgery, okay? So when you're down and out, think about that first French fry and that smile on that precious baby's face eating that French fry for the first time. Hey, go be a blessing to somebody today. You know, you might end up being the only one who is. If you know somebody who's in a mundane, drudgery time of life, go be an encouragement to them. Remind them about happy thoughts and memories that they may have had, and tell them to take a breath and go into their files from days of old and have a fond, happy memory flood back to them and give them a fresh day, okay? And also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jeanne Sigler, Jeanne Sigler. Hit the subscribe button. And of course, if you want something new and exciting and thrilling, turn on WRMZ.org and click the listen button. It'll bring back a few memories with some of those old time songs that we play, and some of those great memories that we help to bring to you, okay? All right, I will see you tomorrow for Hump Day. And listen, French fries are okay. Not too many now, maybe just one or two. But when you eat it like it was your very first one, and that will bring a smile to your face the way it does to these precious two. I love ya. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.